I just bought 2 brand new Xboxes. I didn't need 2 brand new Xboxes, but Xbox released 2 brand new Xboxes, so I got them anyway. This is Microsoft's mid-cycle refresh of the Xbox Series X console. There are 2 new versions of the console from your standard black version. You've got a white all-digital edition and a black special edition Galaxy version of the console. So in today's video, I'm going to unbox both of these consoles, so see what's inside these special packages and also find out whether these consoles are worth your money or whether you should just buy the standard Xbox. So why don't we start things off with the more, I guess, standard version of the Xbox Series X, the all-digital edition. So whenever Microsoft makes an updated version of a console, they usually change the color just to kind of differentiate it from previous consoles, and in this case, the original Xbox Series X was black with a disc drive, and the all-digital edition is white. We sort of saw that with the Xbox Series S, where the original version was released in white, and then they released an updated version with more storage in black, and in this case, I guess, we're getting a white version, which I actually don't mind. My desk setup in my office is all white. I already have an Xbox next to my TV, so if I decide to keep this, it would probably go on my computer desk and it would be all white and match everything. I've got like a white NZXT, a white PlayStation, and now a white Xbox. Before we dive into the console though, let's first take a look at the box. On the front of the box, you've got your all-white Xbox Series X, 1TB SSD, no disk drive, they'll let you know that on the front of the box, 4K 120 FPS, you've got Xbox, and then on the sides, you've got a nice beauty shot of the console. On the other side, some of that same information sort of expounded upon that you have on the front of the box. For example, it says, disc-free gaming, as if that is a feature. I'm pretty sure all they did was just remove the disk drive and there's just an empty space there now, like they've done in previous consoles, but I don't know, I guess if they want to market it that way, that's fine. On the back of the box, you've got a picture of the console itself and then some more information. The fastest, most powerful Xbox ever. And then you've got a call out for Game Pass, which is actually probably the best thing about Xbox. The fact that you can sign up for a subscription service and just download games whenever you want and play them for as long as you want. It's pretty great. I'm not gonna lie, it means you don't have to spend $60 on new games or $70 on new games every time you buy a new game. You just download it in Game Pass, and when you're done, get rid of it and get the next one. But that's pretty much all she wrote. Let's open the box. It looks like we've got a pull tab here that almost already looks open. I'm gonna pull this right here like this. There we go. Let's see what we've got inside. So first thing inside the box, you've got some nicely packaged smaller boxes. Let's pull out this smaller box with these handles right here. I'm having trouble doing it with one hand. There we go. Looks like we've got the console in there, so we'll get to that in a second. Oh, nice. So inside this sort of box topper, we've got, nice, the power cable, the HDMI cable, and the Xbox Series X controller in all white. Probably with no batteries, let me see. No batteries, and they're still AA's. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. Eventually, Xbox will get with the times. We'll see what happens. Maybe next generation. If there is a next generation, who knows? You do have the batteries right here in this little box. And like I mentioned before, HDMI and power cable. Is there anything on the sides? No. And then you've also got, right here, a startup guide, I'm assuming. Yes, this is just essentially a startup guide. How to turn on the console, how to plug things in, how to put in your batteries, and then if you want to sign up for the app, right down there. And then you've also got your product regulatory guide. Oh, there is a sticker inside the box that says Ultra Certified HDMI cable. Is there anything in the top part of the box? No, there's not. Next up, we've got the big chalupa. We've got the console itself. It looks like there is a smaller box on top of the large console. I'm not sure what's in this box. Is there anything in here? Yeah, this is purely just packaging. Okay, cool. Let's see the console itself. Everything sort of falls away from it. Very nice. Did you hear that? There's something rattling inside this console. Oh my god, a screw. There's a screw coming out of the top of my console. What the heck? It's a very long screw too. Yo. What the heck? That's crazy. Can you guys see that? There's a giant screw just bouncing around in there. Huh. I mean, sure, I could open it up, but then I'd probably void my warranty, so I'm just gonna return this. That's nuts. I've never seen anything like that before. That is so wild. It can't even come out through the holes, it's so long. Well, let me open up the console to look at it at least before we return it. Alright, well, here it is. Here's the console in all white plastic. No disk drive, obviously. I do like this colorway a lot. I think it's very, very clean. It also looks like there's just a lot of space inside because there's no disk drive. I mean, you can see the space through the ventilation holes there. Listen to that. So I'm editing the video right now, and I actually wanted to Google to see if this screw thing had happened to other people before, and this is the exact screw that's inside my console currently, and it looks like it has happened before. This post is from January 22nd, 2022. Same issue. There was a screw bouncing around in there. He doesn't know where it's from. Didn't seem to affect performance though, like didn't mess up the fans or anything. And it looks like an independent advisor from Microsoft said if at any time the performance takes a hit, send back the console for repairs. So it's something that they will fix. And it seems like it's happened before. I don't know how common it is. I'm assuming not like incredibly common because I've owned multiple Xbox Series X's, but it does happen. So keep it in mind. Well, okay, regardless, this console was manufactured, it looks like, on August 16th, 2024. There's actually a manufacturing date on the back of the console. You've got your standard inputs, outputs, things like that, and then, your power button towards the top. One detail that I don't like as much on this white version of the console compared to the standard black version is that there's no, like, green glow on the inside, which was just done with plastic, but there isn't any there. Instead, it's black, which I kind of like the green. There was something cool and special about that green. But they went for just the all black and white look, which I guess is fine. I'm kind of shook by this screw thing. Like, that's kind of crazy. I really don't think that's going to be the norm. I'm not saying that because Xbox sent me the console or anything. They didn't. I bought this console and the other console with my own money. This is purely a personal purchase, and it kind of sucks that I got one with the screw, but I don't know. I guess it is what it is. All right. Let's get into the next one and hope that there's no screw. Just bouncing around in there. All right, well, getting into the second console, we've got the one that I'm probably most excited for. This is the Galaxy Special Edition. On the front of the box, you've got a beautiful image of the console itself. Same thing on the side, and then obviously some other information. Now, one big benefit to the Galaxy Special Edition versus the all-digital version, other than the disc drive, obviously, and also versus the standard version, is that this comes with 2 terabytes of storage, meaning it's double what you get in the original Xbox Series X. And because of that, the price is higher. The price of this console is $599. We'll talk about pricing and all that sort of good stuff later on in the video, but this is sort of the highest end Xbox Series X that you can buy currently. Now, I believe it is a limited edition, so I don't know how long this thing will be for sale, but I do know that right now, if you were to order it, it won't come till like the middle of November. Same sort of info on the box as you have in the other console, except obviously it doesn't say disc-free gaming, it instead says 4K Blu-ray, which is what you have in the standard Xbox Series X. So without further ado, let's pop this box open and see the console. I'm very excited to see this. I have not yet seen this. So first, oh, it's black this time. First thing you get inside the box is that same sort of, oh, wow, okay, hold on. I think I was doing this wrong the first time. I think what you're supposed to do is set this down like this and open up the top like this. First thing you get is, of course, this little smaller box which has your accessories. Let's pull this out very quickly. You've got your power cable, your HDMI, your paperwork, which we talked about with the previous console, right there. And then you also get, ooh, this controller is nice. You got the special edition controller. Look at this. Wow, that is sick. So it comes in black. You've got this really cool speckling on the D-pad, and then the back is green. That's so cool. I really love this controller. Again, no batteries in the controller, but I do really like the feel of the Xbox Series X controllers or Series controllers. They feel great in the hand, like the Xbox One's controllers. Very, very nice. Probably my favorite part of this package, I'll be real with you. I like the console, at least I haven't seen it in person, so I'm assuming I like this better than the console, but this definitely feels cool and unique and different. I think you can only buy this with this console. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure the only way to get this controller is with this console. So, very cool addition there. Now let's get to the console itself. Let's pop off all these extra boxes. Wow, the sides fall. Wow. Very cool. Let's see if there's any screws in this one. Okay, no screws in this one. That's crazy. I can't get over that. That is so wild. Inside the packaging, we've got more packaging. This sort of black fabric, which does not want to open for me. You guys get the first look at this console. Oh, very nice. So this is a black Xbox Series X, except the difference is between this console and the original console is that you've got this really nice splatter print effect, which is supposed to be a galaxy effect or a star effect. You've got white splatters, gray splatters, and green splatters, which create sort of a nice depth. It is definitely a different look. One detail that I didn't notice until I actually got this in hand is this green rubber foot on the bottom, which does sort of differentiate this from the previous Xbox Series X. And unlike the digital edition, you do have the green through the ventilation holes. No screws, no extra screws bouncing around. On the back, you've got your standard ports, and it looks like the manufacturing date for this particular console is August 5th, 2024. And then, of course, you've got the Blu-ray disc drive right there on the right-hand side. I've got to say, this is a pretty cool-looking console. I do think, though, that my favorite part of the package is the controller. I think this is a very, very cool-looking controller with the green on the back. That's sick. You've got the splatter print on the D-pad, also very, very cool. I don't know, it's a pretty cool looking package. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty cool looking package. Now let me compare this to the all digital version really quickly. The screw is now stuck somewhere deeper in the console and I don't know where that would be, unfortunately. but the screw is still in there. Here are the two consoles side by side. They're the same dimensions as the original Xbox Series X. Let me know in the comment section down below which version of this console you like better. I might go with the all-white version, not just because it's an all-digital, which doesn't really matter to me either way, because I do usually buy games all digital, but it's nice to have the option of a disc drive, but it's not enough for me to spend the extra money on the disc drive version of the console. I think I prefer the white because it matches my setup better. That said, this special edition look is clean and I like it a lot. But now let's talk about the pricing between these two consoles. So like I mentioned earlier, the limited edition Galaxy version of the Xbox Series X comes in at $599. You do get 2 terabytes of storage versus the standard 1 terabyte of storage, and because of that you spend an extra $100. The standard Xbox Series X is $499. Honestly, that is kind of a decent value, even though it sounds like $100 more for a little bit more storage. Well, it is kind of double the storage, so not a little bit more storage, but just more storage. That's a lot of money. And to be fair, yes it is. However, the only way to expand your storage previously was to get the proprietary expandable storage that you plugged into the back of the console, and the cheapest one that I found was $149. Now it plugs right back in there. $149 for an extra terabyte, and then like 200 something for 2 terabytes. So technically you could expand your storage not just to 2 terabytes on the original console, you could probably expand it to 3. On this console, you could actually expand it to, I believe, 4, because I believe there is 2 terabyte expansion cards. Let me double check that. Yes, there are 2 terabyte cards, however, they're $200. So you could actually, in theory, make this a 4 terabyte console, which is pretty wild if you wanted to. Whereas on the PlayStation, you can just pop in a little laptop drive, which I've actually done. But in my opinion, if you need the extra storage, I would say buy this console if you haven't bought an Xbox Series X before, just because that's kind of one of the most cost-effective ways to get 2 terabytes, plus you get the disc drive. Now, this console kind of sits just below the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series X Special Edition. You got $599, you got $499 for the standard Xbox Series X, and then for the all digital edition, it's $449. So it's $50 cheaper than the standard version of the console. So you're spending $50 less, but you don't get a Blu-ray drive. That's really the only difference, the Blu-ray drive and the color. I think if you want either of those things, just spend the extra money, get the standard Xbox Series X, or honestly get a used one, because used ones are cheaper than all of these consoles. But I think if you like the color and you don't care about the disc drive, get the standard Xbox Series X all digital edition. You should be good to go. The benefit to this console versus the Xbox Series X all digital, because they're all digital, is that this is significantly more powerful. So you're going to get higher resolution on your games. Even though yes, you can play the same games, the games are going to look better on the Xbox Series X. And that's why this all digital version of the console is kind of a nice addition to the lineup. Because of the Xbox Series S being the only all-digital version of the Xbox Series consoles, you weren't able to get the full power. So this is a slightly more reasonably priced version of the Xbox Series X that allows you to play all your games digitally. Because if you don't care about the disc drive, why spend the extra $50 and get the, honestly, not as cool looking one? The black is fine, but this white version is pretty clean. Now hopefully yours doesn't come with a screw inside, but I know it's not a deal breaker. I really can just pop this open, but I'd rather just not even worry about that. I don't know if it damaged anything in transit. I'm just gonna return it and hope that I can get either a new version or just not worry about it. But getting back to the limited edition version, this Galaxy colorway is super clean. I like it a lot. It's very different. It kind of has a sort of festive feel to it, and maybe you don't like the design of this console, so maybe this is not the console for you. But if you want 2 terabytes of storage right out of the box, this is the way to go. $599, yes, it's expensive, but compare that to the PS5 Pro, which I guess, to be fair, is more powerful than the standard PS5, so even though you're paying more money, you are getting a bit more power. This version, you're getting more storage. And if that's what you want, great. Now, from the looks of it, it seems like these consoles are the only mid-cycle refresh that we're going to get on the Xbox Series X, which is a little bit disappointing when PlayStation got, like I mentioned earlier, the PlayStation 5 Pro, which is technically more powerful than the standard PlayStation 5. Yes, the pricing on that console is insane, but we are going to unbox that console in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. So if you want an Xbox Series X, I would say just buy it now, because I don't think there's going to be an updated version of the console, at least not power-wise, for the next couple of years. I think they might just make cheaper versions of the console, possibly a smaller version of the console. I kind of doubt it, but it's possible. Maybe new colors, but that's probably about it. So I think if you want an Xbox Series X and you haven't bought one yet, now is probably the time. And if you guys want to do that, there is a link to the Xbox Series X through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen. Also, actually, I'll make sure to put the Xbox Series S's in there too, because you can play all the same games just at a lower resolution and frame rate. That being said, these are both great options if you do not already have an Xbox Series X. If you have one, I don't think it's worth the upgrade. I just don't think it's necessary. If you don't have one, then sure, grab one of these. They're both cool. But hey, that pretty much wraps up my thoughts on the brand new white Xbox Series X All Digital Edition and the Xbox Series X Galaxy Limited Edition. Let me know your thoughts on these consoles in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.